Morning.
Morning, mate.
Right.
Morning.
Morning, how are you? How are you feeling, Sarah?
Yeah, I'm alright. Still feeling it.
Too much fun partying on the weekend.
At my age, yeah.
Alrighty. Let's see where we're at. So we had a little sell-off in the Asian session. We dropped a fair few pips. From top to bottom, we dropped 120 odd pips, so fairly substantial move. It's a bigger one than we've seen for a long time, so I'm going to take some stock of what's going on. See these blue sections? Oh my god, what have I done? See all these little blue sections. So we only had after PPI, we had two 30-minute, or pretty much just one 30-minute candle that dropped down, and then it just clustered and consolidated. And it's not something we really look at in New York session, because you can see like the New York session is really, the pink session is generally the one that we're targeting. But it's been a little bit of fun playing around with German 40 in the New York session when there's been CPI, because it will have that correlation effect with stocks. Obviously not to the same sort of magnitude. Let me just, as a reference, pop over like US 30. You can see here like US 30 is clearly the London session. You don't bother with it, but it's a lot better in the New York session, as it would make sense. But even in this one, you can see like we only had like a little bit of movement, and then we just clustered around and didn't really do much at all. It was a substantial session compared to previous ones as well for Asian session. So yeah, I have to explore that. I'm only just finished making some breakfast and stuff, so I haven't really had time to check out what was going on. I'll do a little quick one though. So where's any red stuff? Asia market wrap. Let's have a read of this. Stock benchmarks sank across Asia. So it looks like it's unless I'm missing something, but it seems to be China's continuing struggles with recovering. I did read a report over the weekend about how Chinese developers had sold over $1 trillion worth of property yet to be developed. But they've already sold it, promised that they're going to develop it. And they've already got like excess housing. So that's a crazy amount of money. I can't even comprehend how much money that is. Anyway, so if they're struggling to reopen, that's having some effects on global trade. Given they were basically like how many countries relied on them to make goods before all like COVID and lockdowns and things happened. So I guess people were thinking that things were going to return to the norm as the economy continued to recover. High interest rates though, making that really difficult. So I guess we'll just continue our bearish bias. Where is the optimism in that? So we're still in this range. We've had a fake out number 1, we've had a fake out number 2, and now we tried to push down for potentially breakout number 3 or fake out number 3. We haven't created the top wick yet though on this candle. Pretty much just opened very briefly, went up, and then just went down. If we are breaking underneath this area again, then this wick would be an ideal target. And then potentially we can start to push down to these other POIs that are further down the line. So I don't really know what my bias is. I might have to just wait and see for now. Weekly candle closed as a doji last week. Pretty much just we've been in this range now for 9 days. 9 calendar days, 7 trading days. From Thursday was when we entered it. Friday stayed in it, and this big week here. So Thursday, most of this move happened on Wednesday, I believe. 2 weeks ago. And then we've had Thursday, we stayed in here, Friday stayed in here, and then all last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we just stayed. And you can almost, it's almost disguised. This is a disguised candle. Because you can better see it.
Hayden.
Yeah, mate.
Just a question. So, you know how it's always pushing from one liquidity point to another, and on this weekly chart here, you've got the weekly liquidity candle bearish pushing down.
Mm-hmm.
So, if it's pushing to the next weekly liquidity point, how do you determine exactly where that is? Is it just like the next weekly candle bottom, or like how do you do that?
Well, I would say liquidity it doesn't need to be a candle that's opposite to this. It could be a support where there's a lot of liquidity.
Okay.
A lot of wicks being drawn from this. Like you can see, there would have been liquidity being pulled underneath these wicks, and then we've had like a little weekly fake out. So this could be like, it could go from, this is a bearish engulfing candle, a lot of volume inside of this candle. So where would a liquidity point be? Well, it would be a support as well. That's where it stopped. And then you've got for candles, if you're looking for liquidity candles, I don't really see any on this time frame. Maybe this one. No bottom wick. But I'd have to explore these wicks on the lower time frame to see if there's some better areas here. But it's quite dangerous to think like it's got to go to an opposite candle on, like I say, stocks, because most of the time we're just in a bullish trend.
Yeah, I guess not an opposite candle, but just like
I'd look at support.
The next support. Okay.
I'd look at like a support,
which is kind of where the weekly doji got to.
Yeah, like this area's definitely been you can see like how thick these lines are. These thick lines. These are just thin lines, but we had so many monthly candles close around this area, so it looks like it's thick. If I zoom in, you can see like how these thick lines were just a bunch of like little lines that were compressed together. So price on the monthly levels, we've been closing at these points regularly. So there has to be something in that. Has to be. If monthly levels are coming to that area and closing. Anyway, what I'll be looking for is from a higher time frame. I'd be looking like, you're not a swing trader. We're more looking for buys for the day and maybe holding the trade for 1 or 2 days. So I'd be looking for like, where's an obvious support zone on a lower time frame. When you got a little bit more like on higher time frames, weeks, months, you don't get as many candles to decipher. Whereas a lower time frame, then you get a bit more information, get a little bit more detail into candle wicks, price action. Yeah. Given that way the weekly candle is, you think this could be like a drop, base drop.
Yeah.
But we need to see. Obviously, when you're playing with weekly and higher time frames, then we get a lot of different information coming to the light in that time. So, everything could be looking down, and then we get some sort of news that pops up, and all of a sudden we're starting to like form a support and then push up again. Like, what if the ECB came out and then said, yeah, you know what, we're actually probably going to hold our interest rates. All of a sudden, then we're going to start seeing big boys position themselves for buys. So it might be like little fake up breakouts to the downside, but they really set themselves up for another push up. So Dave, we have German WPI today. Yellow folder. Yellow folder means that it is. Oh, it's already come out. But it's pretty much always like it has minimal impact. It's usually very accurate. It's already they know what the result is, and normally when the news comes out, it's already been priced in. Okay, so 4 hour. I can get rid of some of these zones now. This one's been done. That was done. That one's been done. That one's been done. Is there any significance to the fact that price is also hovering around the 2022 opening price? Not sure. So you're saying like the year candle? These are the yearly candles. Haven't got a bottom wick on the year candle. All these major levels, like major time frame levels, are going to provide bumpiness, but you would still see like a really high time frame, right? So like this is a high time frame level. On a lower time frame, we can still get spikes above it. And if this is like 100 pips, then I wouldn't say just because we're at a opening level for a high time frame that my bias is opposite. My bias is purely based on where I think the best move is for this session. And we know that German 40 often gives you 2 moves because it's got that double-sided volatility. One move might be 100 pips, and we might have a 50 pip correction. Either side. Obviously, we try to get the bigger one, but either side, we can often get a good trade, even if we count our bias is opposite to our bias is incorrect for the bigger move. But with such a large Asian session, this makes it a little bit tricky for me. So I'm gonna see if this could be like a gap in price, and that will fill it. This whole area was a good little support. that we tried to push up from, and then we broke it, and then this is the first candle on the 4 hour time frame that's closed below it. So I'm leaning to sells. But with some sort of correction. But I'm going to be very, very careful. 2 hour, can I refine this even further? Kind of makes sense, this candle right here. This is a big engulfing candle. Big engulfing candle. And that basically, for many hours, we stayed contained within it. And then we finally broke, closed, retested, pushed down. So if we're closing back inside this area, then I'd say we're just stuck in this bloody range and we'll look for upside.
Morning.
Morning, Jim. How are you? One hour. So this is the open right now. In this first minute. 1 hour. Got a little doji down here. In the New York session. Could be a little target. Couple no-wick candles. Asian low. Whole bunch of wicks here. Jim's been hacked by robots.
Oh, sorry guys.
Oh, good. Here's the little resistance in Asian session. A little bit harder for me to trust this. But this area is a resistance. Let's see what it does at this area. Are we gonna break it? We're gonna respect it. Because it's Monday, I'm not gonna jump into anything when, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't like how Asian session has already moved so much. So I'm not gonna rush into anything. I'm happy to wait and see what this open does. I reckon it could be a little bit of a sluggish start because I'd say that it's not just me that's trying to figure out exactly what this means. So what's the buy to sell to buy going to be? I do like how there's a lot of rejections here. Higher time, weekly looking bearish from a week before. Last week was a doji, so we're sort of stuck in the range. Haven't really got a top wick, though, on the daily candle. Nice little 5-minute resistance created up here. and make that different color so I can sort of differentiate the two. So maybe we can do a buy to sell into this area. So if I see price do some, I need to, like, I don't want to get burnt like I did on Thursday last week, but if I see something like that,
That's a very long move, though, isn't it? Considering it's already gone, what, 100 and something pips.
yeah, it's
The
a
Asians
huge
are-
move. It's a massive move. So that's what I don't like about it.
Unless it moves earlier, it doesn't get that high. Maybe it just drops from here.
I mean, the H4 is looking pretty bullish in terms of reversal now.
Yeah.
Oh well, I've got a pathway. Let's see if it can follow it. $15,900. Yeah, I think this area could present a lot of opportunities. Given even if it is, if we do make it up to here, we've moved a long way then, as well, so that we could see at least 40 pip correction. So I think this is going to be my zone. This will be my zone. I'm looking for something from. Either way. Failing that, and we do continue bullish, then I'll be looking 100% for something. Oh, come on, man. Something in this zone. I feel like there's a lot of liquidity left over from Euro high, London high from Friday. Alright, stage is set. There's a little area where it's approaching now. This candle. This is a decent looking candle. We just took the high of it. Having this little reaction now. What do you guys think? What are you looking for?
I just don't think it's got the volume to get up that high. Like, I just think that this area of congestion to the left, as well as that orders being accumulated, I just feel like that zone, I'd be looking for sells from this sort of area.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see doing a retracement all the way to the very top of the Asian session. I
Sure.
just feel like if it's an overall bearish move, then this is a pullback rather than a complete correction.
Mm-hmm. So what would be your trigger to take this?
I just guess price action from that zone. I'm not sure.
You've got to visualize your move. It's not a trick question.
well,
I was just saying, like, what would be your trigger to get in? Would you wait for a bearish candle, break the low, a few liquidity candles?
I've been doing a lot of. I had a session with Akshay the other day because I did homework on HCSs, so I'm feeling a lot more confident identifying those. So I'd probably stick to that. All my back testing showed like 100% success on HCSs from H4 zones.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be looking at something like that, I guess.
HCS is from H4 zones. So this is a H4 zone for you?
My H4 zone was. I'm still trying to get used to TradingView. I'm still using smart charts.
Yeah.
Well, it's just sitting in what I had as an order block from the H4 zone, well, from an H4 time frame.
This is H4 time frame. Where's your order block? Hey Jake, how are you, mate?
Just the blue doji to the fourth candle to the left.
This one here.
Yeah.
Okay. The last candle of the week. Think about the timing of the candles as well. Like a H4 on the very last 4-hour candle of the week, I would have less significance if it was then something that was formed during like a London or New York volume session.
Yep. Yeah, sure. I guess if they're accumulating orders, they're not doing it at the end of the week with the very last H4 candle.
Yeah, exactly. So the reason that 4-hour candle might have closed bullish, like it literally could, it might just be pot luck that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are. Oh, sorry, I missed one. These are the last candles of that week.
Yep.
So it could have been a little bearish candle as well when it's in a range like that.
Yeah, good shot.
The zone is holding up so far. The little red one, based on just the top of that area.
Yep.
Plus we've got the doji candle. I think this one was a bit more pronounced on the 15-minute. This bad boy right here. Oh, God. This guy. So we broke out from Euro high to test that area. Sarah took that. Very good. And that's a 23 pip movement from the open for breakout. Let's see. Always, we don't need to be in a trade as well. Always remember that. I think that's always a very important lesson, that most of the time we do get a trade every day. But I never go into each day thinking, where's going to be my trade? Like I plan it out. But the one thing that you need to really establish is that sometimes, or be aware that sometimes there's just not something that we can't quite see. And like I've already been thrown a bit of a curveball with a very large Asian session. So it's making me think here. Plus, when I'm looking to take a trade, this is something that I spoke to a student last week, is that sometimes make the trade work for you. let a trade come to your level where you have more confidence in, rather than because you want to be in a trade, choose a closer level. I don't want to talk anyone out of a trade, but there was a couple examples where price was sort of pushing up, and there were a couple of zones and areas could have taken the trade, and there was news as well, but he wanted to be in the trade, so he whittled down like his pairs he was looking for, and eventually chose like this one, and price dropped and then went up. And if he took a loss before the trade moved very well. And I was like, well, if you're unsure about taking the trade just for you're just trying to find a trade and this was the best one of your selection, you don't have to be in this trade. You know, if you really want it to make it do some work for you, choose a level where you feel like you might have more protection, and almost try not be in that trade. Because if you try not be in that trade, likely there's got to do so much work to get your level, and then it can push from there. Yeah. And sometimes you'll see like, oh, overnight I'll set some pending orders on Emabot, and some of them I'm like, I really don't think there's any chance for this one to trigger, but I put it on anyway because I like the level. I just don't have much confidence that it's going to actually trigger. Sometimes you're surprised. Whereas putting a trade on where I'm pretty confident we're going to trigger, but I'm not confident that's going to actually push up really well, I'm more likely to take a loss on one of those trades. Remember the study session as well, that if you're looking to take a sell from here and this is your area that you liked, remember how when we get to like the 15-minute candles closing, the 30-minute candles closing, how often, like once it's made a high, what generally happens once we've made a high? Anyone remember?
80% chance it'll retest the high.
How much percent?
80%.
Yeah. 8 times out of 10, we'll retest that high, and it'll be in the shape of a wick fill on a higher time frame candle. So 15-minute close, nice strong bullish. 5-minute wick fill. Well, sorry, 15-minute did the wick fill, but on the 5 minutes, it might have looked like a rejection wick. Like this higher time frame candle's wick might look like a rejection candle on a lower time frame, and the next candle just goes and takes the top of it. Because most of the time, that first, like looking back over here, I believe it was this one. I'll go to this one. This 15-minute candle looking very bullish. If you're stuck on the lower time frame, you're thinking potentially rejection candle on the 15-minute. On the 15-minute, it is a wick. But if you're living on the lower time frames, it's a rejection candle. What happens 8 times out of 10 on this wick? It gets filled. Then we get another rejection candle, but you can see like this one looks a bit better than this one. And then when you're actually jumping into a trade, first time it hits a level, most of the time it's going to take you out. Patience is key. One, two. Support and break. Not yet. Terry's a green, so he lost a lot at the start, taking the first hit of the point of interest level. Yeah, because most of the time it does something like this, doesn't it? And this could just be the end of like a 30-minute candle where we have like two 30-minute candle wicks in this area, and it's like had a few touches and taken the first one when it's like just positioning itself for price to turn around. And remember that, like, when you're looking at entering as well, there's often once you do get the price action you want, sometimes just fear, you might miss it. You might miss the entry, but often there's going to be three places to enter. One's the cowboy entry, where you're trying to get like the premium entry and you're thinking this is it. This is one candle. I'm going to take a sell from here. Then you can have the anticipation entry. I'm not counting the cowboy entry as a valid entry, but it can work if you've got a great zone and it's maybe news and stuff. But you got cowboy entry is like the tippy top. Then you've got the anticipation entry. We have one rejection candle followed by maybe a couple dojis in here, and then price above those dojis, and you take anticipation entry that this candle is going to actually close bearish. That's the so price is wicked up and you've taken a cowboy entry from the very top. Then price is pushed down and we've got maybe a couple like little dojis here. And then price is at the time price is like above these dojis and you're anticipating that the candle is going to close bearish like this. And this would be your this would be anticipation entry, like somewhere up here. Or you could wait for it to close, and this would be like your confirmation entry when you've got a rejection candle followed by a retest and we close below support. And then you can have your late entry when price is well on its way, because often you get a few goes. The struggle is trying to differentiate cowboy, anticipation, and confirmation entries. Trying to like not get into the trade too early. Like Dave, if price does get up into the zone here, we've all got to agree that this has done some. This volume has seriously done some work. Now it's like just take a breather for a bit, German 40. Used to be the king of the cowboy. and Sarah. All right, from the open, now we've gone up 30. We've got a bit of a gap here in these wicks to fill. Which we have filled. Okay, we've got a little order block, an Asian session order block now in this area, which was manipulated. Once we close inside of here, we go to the top. Hey Brenda, she's a cowboy too. Cowgirl. Am I in a long or waiting for pullback? I'm waiting up here. I didn't take a long. Nice, Sarah. Sarah got the breakout. The breakout, now that I'm thinking, like, we were very low. I just didn't understand quite what this would mean. I didn't understand quite if we were like, normally when I see an Asian session like this, if I saw a very long London session for gold, if I saw a very long London session for gold and price had opened down here for like the higher volume session for, say, New York or something, I'd be looking for longs to connect the sessions. But I'm more bearish. But the weekly candle's already broken. Oh no, it hasn't broken the week low. But it did break the previous daily candle low. Look how low it went. Oh wait, is this? That might be my drawing. Oh no. Yeah, my drawing's a little bit further. But we did look at all these wicks here. We did dip into all these wicket, like all this like hot water. You dipping your toe in the hot water, and like price is like, ooh hot, ooh hot, ooh hot. And I did say at the start that we didn't really have a top wick on this daily candle, so I would like to see some top wick before we push down. If we start pushing down again, we could do a little bit of a wick fill on this daily candle. So I'm gonna let it get to my zone. So far this one didn't really, it wicked twice into it before it consumed all of these orders, and I really did think this was just low volume that once we had got above it, it just consumed all these orders, and now it's looking for more sellers. If this was French 40, you don't get this data. So this is almost like a gap. So let me show you while we're waiting. French 40. See how like you've got, this is the New York session. Notice how there's a lack of the little blue zones. And what happened is, look at the time down the bottom. It goes from 9 o'clock, this is UK time, 9 p.m. or 8:55 p.m. on Friday to 7 a.m. Monday. So you're missing like 9 hours. And what happens is that the way that TradingView works is that it always creates the next tick of the closed candle. So really price opened more or less. It opened more or less like down here. So this is the gap. So we refilled this gap. Okay, so 30 minutes now coming to a close. I will put something along here, because once we do close inside of that, black box, range box, that'll do. We did close inside of there. Had a 20 pip reaction from this little zone. This is a liquidity candle in itself. This first hour. Yeah, trading above that, looking for confirmation sells above this area. I think we can potentially be in for a good one. Did anyone jump into the sell from that candle? Cool. Good restraint. Good restraint. No, I didn't either. It was a little test. Which candle, which 5 minute candle of the 30 minute candle was that one? It was your last 5 minute candle of the 30 minute. So on the 30 minute candle when it closed, next candle, wick fill. Yeah, you did, Dan. You did. Yeah. 30 minute candle close. Nice strong bullish. Very likely we're going to get wick fill. So that 5 minute candle, if you're living on this time frame, is that's your cowboy entry, which is dangerous as hell because it's not even really at a strong zone yet. There's a little test there. I would wait for a confirmation entry. Oh man, I'm gonna open this blind. So I was still cleaning the house, and I was cleaning more of those oven racks that were filthy. And this time I didn't breathe in the chemicals, and this time I didn't get shortness of breath. Go figure. So the mask or cleaning in an aerated room actually was beneficial. Oh. Alrighty. Jake, I saw what you just sent through. I just sent you the link. I was lost as a fart in a sandstorm. We're just waiting. We're just waiting here. Waiting for these zones. On Thursday, I did attempt one of these. It wasn't the last 5 minutes of the candle, but I did attempt to get in a little bit early, anticipating the high of this. And fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. What is it? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So I'm not going to get fooled. Especially on a Monday. We are starting to see it slow down though, which is nice. Oh, you went cowboy to test the theory. Flat face, flat face. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a sort of just think of these little areas. Correctly identified that this is the way someone explained it to me a long time ago. That see how price is consolidated in this area, and it's kind of easier if I flip this upside down. So think about if this was like down here and you've had price consolidate and pick up a lot of orders, and just say like all of these are little pockets of liquidity. The guy called these pancakes, and you're saying that when you get to like, this is your plate. This is your plate of pancakes. And you've got some hungry person coming in with a fork, picking up a pancake, bringing it back, eating it, pushing down, grabbing another pancake, bringing it back, eating it, dip down, pick up another pancake. This one might be a bit bigger. It takes a while longer to eat it. Then comes down, gets more pancakes, gets more, and eventually hits the plate and you run out of pancakes, but he's still hungry. Then price is going to shoot down to where the next plate of pancakes are, which could be a little bit higher. So really it depends on how hungry the eater is right now. This was a plate of pancakes. So it did make price stall here for a bit. Right, it did take a little while for it to eat through all these pancakes being liquidity. Now, is it enough to fill the orders of the eater, which is just right now the German volume, London volume, or is it going to push up to the next part?
I love that metaphor.
Yeah.
Cool.
So whilst we do see an area of interest, 100% you're correct that this is an area of liquidity. Is it enough to turn price away properly? We don't know. Yeah, we don't know. We don't know if that's enough yet. So, but we can look for clues. Clue is a rejection candle, price turning away, coming back, retested by another rejection candle. Having two of them, having two rejection candles, a rejection followed by another rejection, which is lower. Generally then, if we do have a support, is very likely if you have two consecutive rejection candles, not like one after another, it might be like dojis and a bit of time in between, but something failing to break the high, then likely we're going to see a support break. Okay, Jake, I just saw your email just come through. Oh, good. Everyone in here as well that's like been part of the group like would be feeling at the same stage at some point, and it's just about watching as well and like just taking little by little in. What I've called it before is like, this is your current understanding, which is like a circle. Then eventually over time you might understand something that's worked in some condition a couple times, but it doesn't happen very often. So your knowledge is very limited at this stage with experience. Then over time you start seeing a little bit more happen, and you can add like another layer of understanding and another layer of understanding, and another layer of understanding, and another layer of understanding, and another layer of understanding. And it's this accumulation of like this, like onion rings, where eventually you start being able to see more conditions that you can trade, and you can have a lot more of this information at like the front of your mind, where it's like it's by memory. It's not just trying to look through pages and pages of information. Just like you said, like with golf, it's about repetition practice to get it so that you don't even think about it anymore. But we'll work on that. First thing is just trying to like have an idea of where you want to trade from, being patient for that area, and then look for the signs, and we'll work through what the signs are. And there are many different little ways that this could appear. So it's not like it's going to happen in one exact formation, but you'll start to get the sense of, even just watching the candle sometimes, if I see like price sort of really jumpy, if I went back and had a look at like how like this 15-minute candle formed, this specific one, I just see, if I go back in time, I see a closed candle. But I could be looking at this candle in real time, and this is 15-minute candle, and maybe this opened and in 1 minute jumped straight up, and then it hovered like near the top for 14 other minutes. That's a really bizarre piece of price behavior. And that if I see something like that, usually a false move a fast move is a false move. But I wouldn't get the speed of this candle unless I was watching it at that particular time. And we don't need to, but like it's just watching candles, dedicating a specific time. Like I dedicate basically this hour and a half of the day to watching what price does and trying to take a trade. What happens after 9:30? I will keep an eye. I'll put some alerts often, but I don't really focus too much. My focus is mainly this first hour and a half. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, I'll come back in later. Alright, so we took the Asian high in this zone, 6 pips away from my real target area. Still haven't really seen rejection wicks. This is a really, really minor level right here. That's a minor level where manipulation looked like it may have taken place. I don't particularly like trusting the 1 minutes, but this wick down, pushed up, wick down, pushed up, and now we're closed below. So this could be my line in the sand, this area. If we do get the chance that it comes back up here, I may give it a go. 15-minute candle close is coming up. 15 minutes looking like a rejection wick now. 30 minutes is still open. I think this will be my first trade of the day in this red zone. If we're closing above it, I'll can it. First trade of the first, I can keep my stop loss up here if I want. It could be a wide stop loss. I could be looking at something like this. Something like this perhaps. This would be 25 pip stop loss. But if we close above here, if we close anywhere above here, I'll just can it. So it might be like a 10 pip loss. But I would like to see it connect this wick. Because at the moment this is an imbalanced candle. Even if it sort of pushes down from here, I'll still wait for the retest. It kind of has to fall in this next half an hour though. Got 2 monthly levels over here that we're sort of stuck in between right now. Yeah, I can be sometimes that patience is to my downfall as well. Sometimes there's an opportunity cost. So even if this 15-minute candle closed like a little doji or whatever, like this, what kind of entry would it be if price is up here? Would it be anticipation, confirmation, or late? If I took an entry in this little orange box and we had a little doji. Yeah, it'd be an anticipation entry. So I'm anticipating that if price is back above here, I'm anticipating that it closes bearish. And I'm trying to capture like the top wick. But that anticipation entry will work better if this is like a little doji. Oh, where'd my box go? I thought I had a little... I must have drawn it with zoom. Oh. No, I just did it this color. Blue box. Red box. I'll stick with green box. Maybe these pictures don't work anymore. Copy. Yeah, they've all got black backgrounds. Because it didn't quite touch this area, this is still a very dangerous trade because the 1 hour could still do a wick fill. So I'm still just waiting here. I'm not entering just yet. Because I would prefer to see like some little wicks. If you're going to enter with a small position. Don't let a first trade on the Monday ruin your day. Because I still don't really see much rejections from here. What I might do is see if we get a rejection wick from this top candle and then enter if I see that. If I see something like this. Yeah, it's not happening just yet. Took the high though. If it closes above here, this idea is not valid. So 30 seconds to tell us. Yeah, this idea is not going to be valid. I'm going to still wait for this area to be touched. It's getting close though. I do like how this potentially is now the very first fake out. Yeah, look at it. Gosh. Now we're doing that 1 hour. See how we had that 1 hour candle, which had left that wick, and now we filled it. So this could be double top potentially, having refilled it. Now, if we do create double top, we can wait for the sweep. That sweep will put us into this nice liquidity area, and then maybe then we can get like a nice little 40, 50 pip drop. Break the high even. Yeah, we never got confirmation. Second structure on the 3 minute. Oh, this pullback. Yeah. All right, we're in the zone. Now this is the better zone because Asian session, we've taken the Asian high. We've got a 5 minute little HCS area, triple wick area, bottom of this, like this whole rejection area. Just need to see price slow down. But we made it up here. Is Bill here? Bill. Hey, my oh gosh, it's pushing hard. The indicator, I think, crashed. I had it on 2 charts: German 40 and gold, and it's crashed it twice.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Can you send me the? Was there any error?
It just whole computer shut down. I'll have a look through the log because the whole, everything closed.
Oh wow.
Maybe it wasn't
Sounds
the
pretty-
indicator, but nothing was working.
Okay. Well, we just took a couple of levels, literally just then.
I was wondering why nothing was updating. Crazy. That was a crazy little push. That fast, see, like I actually had my eyes turned, but did we see how fast we had a few little candles here? And it was like in a couple of ticks that it moved up. That fast move can be the stopper move, because this could be the like hunting that liquidity. That fast move can be the false move. So wherever we move, we've gone up. Down 95 pips. Yeah, straight up. Cool. Now I'm just waiting for a rejection followed by another rejection. If we can do that, then I'll jump in for these sells. Got nice clean candles as well to the left. Can be scary selling into this volume. That's why we want to wait for that confirmation. Now when you look at it, like that candle is looking pretty significant, this 15-minute candle, and now it just looks like a little dwarf. This zone though is a good area for turnaround. So it's a bit higher than I expected. But let's see if we can do something like this.
It's just picked up a couple of levels just there.
Right. What's going on? Is there any positivity coming to the market? What's gold doing? Not a whole lot. Pound Aussie's created. That moved up 100 pips as well in the Asian session. Alrighty. One minute close bearish. Nice little wick. Let's see if this candle. Thank you. And we're inside of this 2-hour candle now. Yeah. These areas didn't hold up. So where I'm anticipating or looking for a trade now is more or less going to be from up in this area, and I'll look to target back down to about here for now. This would be 50. One hour candles come to a close. This 1 hour candle is a monster candle. Fill this whole gap into this like order block area. So we're just literally waiting for price action to tell us when to get in. This could be a little this would be a cowboy entry that I'd entertain. Something like that. Reason being is because we've got like 2 hour open candle. We've got rejection wicks over here and here. I'll just zoom in on it for you. Using the 5 minutes. Rejection number 1. Rejection number 2. So you had rejection candle followed by a retest, and then we had a support break. So support, 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 rejection 1, rejection 2, support break, come back up to this area. We'll just see now if this one can hold. If this breaks, then you've got to wait for another confirmation, but that's fairly low stop loss for risk reward purposes. So we tapped into it, had a little reaction. Price is overextended. Well, in terms of like normal volume, it's moved 103 pips. The last 1 hour could be good if it can manipulate the last hour candle. This most previous one. Is that what you're saying? Oh, like you mean the high and then push down? Yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, that'd be ideal, because then we can, like, there's not really much in terms of, like, getting into this trade yet. Gonna start be doing overtime soon. Okay, one little rejection. We've got a little tiny support. One little rejection. Oh yeah, sorry, I missed that one. Two little rejection. So if it's a valid one, you would think that support's going to break. Confirmation could be once it's breaking or closed. Maybe this is the second one. Damn, no confirmations. Well, this is Terry's wish, manipulating the top of the hour candle. Yeah, that's right, Dave. Patient trader eats the ripest fruit. At this stage, this is going to be the most delicious fruit there's been. Look at the daily now. Daily's well on its way to making it, like it's certainly created its top wick now. I'm pretty keen on this trade. Come on, keep pushing, dropping, keep dropping. This is a little bit danger area. All these little dojis to pick up more liquidity. But we can easily correct this whole move up. No top wick on the last M1 candle. Yeah, not on this one either. If we can close below this little grey box, we're good. $15 minutes coming to a close. Looking like the second rejection candle. First one was over here, which was a false, what do they call it? False flag. Now this one. See if this one can be respected. No, not yet. I'm not in that yet, just yet. Waiting to see if we can get this little rejection. I want to see it close and retest. Filled 1 minute imbalance. It did. Took out this doji, no wick candle, didn't it? Come on, man. So I'd be interested in something like this. I won't give it too much longer. Already going a little bit over time. But this is the trade idea now. Yeah, so I'm thinking time to go make a coffee and then let it do its thing. Yeah, so this would be anticipation entry. See how we've got the 5 minute, which is showing us a little rejection candle. Now we've got that doji, and then now entering above that doji, I'm anticipating that this candle, or whatever candle is the one that takes the high of that doji, is going to turn bearish, and then we break the support. If we can break that support, I've got clean candles to the left, and I've got a 50 pip range. So this is one that I'm happy to take a risk on. And take an anticipation entry as well. Risk reward, I'll keep it above here. Because it's quite a tight little range, I don't particularly want to keep a really tight stop loss. And it would be, it's still like more or less 2 to 1. Risk reward. continue. Okay, I'm going to make a coffee now. Hopefully by the time I get back, it's closed below this. So I'll be a few minutes. All right, back. Yeah, it worked. always when I turn my back. All right. Was anyone in this? Waiting for the pullback. Nigel, you got it? Yeah. There was, you caught it late, Brenda. All good. George is in it. Great. Yeah, there was a little, profit makes sense around, like, there's a little rejection area here. Here, right? But once we close below here, I say we keep on pushing down. There was, when this was pulling back here, being only a few pips away from the entry, 2 to 1 this is still 2 to 1, right? Still, oh no, it's not quite 2 to 1, is it? But it's still good risk reward, like better than 1 to 1. Not A+ setup, unless you had like a lower stop loss, but you got to earn the right to tighten the stop loss. There were some entries, like I was looking at this and thinking that this candle, even though it's a bullish candle, little small body closed within these wicks, followed by this one, wicked up higher than the candle to the left, took the imbalance, closed bearish. Then we had a little doji, this red one. So entering above that is also anticipation entry based on the 3-minute time frame. Not so much on the 5-minute time frame, but the 3-minute time frame, that's a valid entry. Just depends what you're waiting for. Sometimes being too patient, what I said, like sometimes it's to my detriment, is like missing the trade for the sake of a few pips. So you either caught it or you didn't, but the main thing is showing that sort of patience and that consistency on a day-to-day basis, and like waiting for it to come to you. Let the trade come to you, not you go to the trade. There will be times though you miss the move, waiting for it to always come to you. That's when you look at the move and think, how could I have improved on my zone analysis? Did I miss a potential zone to the left that I could have next time focused on? And or has it happened enough times that I can start to say, well, maybe I'm waiting too much, and this is the problem with new traders. You're always waiting for like previous swing highs, without actually doing enough analysis into the move down. This is what we covered on yesterday's Sunday's study session, is not just always looking at the tops, but looking at the move down to see where also manipulation took place. Because these are your resistance areas. Like if we close above here, this would become resistance, would become support. But if this is a true resistance and we get rejections from there, then resistance remains resistance. And you just look for confirmation entries. But I've got to scoot, so I've got to do some stuff. So let's see what happens. There was a move here already. It would have moved down like 30 odd pips. This why it's reacting from this area. This was the Asian high, this zone, and then we also had Asian high, little support area. Also looking at was it on the 5 minute as well? 5 minute, 3 minute. It's this where price pushed up from. This is that structure at the moment. That's that structure. So this top wick is where price sort of dipped into. It's having like a little pullback. Often if you entered late or anything up in here and then price pushed down, price often comes back to stop you out before pushing down. If you move stop loss to break even. So this is pretty normal for this to not be a straight move down. It often moves down like that. So we'll see if this holds up. Anyway, slow session. So good move up, which I wasn't looking for, but I think these sells are going to play out pretty well. So all good. I will say thanks guys for attending. Oh, Alan, you came back on the retest. Cool. Yeah, let's just see if this can just push down now, achieve the target. Good job, everyone. Good job. It was a patience building day, which is very good for your trading as well. So a patient day is a positive day. Yeah, character building. Cool. All right. Well, let's don't have a risk. Don't have a trade. Make sure you journal your trades. Make sure you look back on it and see how your performance was, and we'll touch base again soon. All right. So I'll see you later.
Yeah.